Craps is a fast-paced and thrilling casino game that may seem intimidating at first glance, but with a little guidance, you can break down the core mechanics and start placing your baits with confidence. This comprehensive guide unravels the mysteries of craps, transforming you from a curious observer to a participating player. Understanding the craps table, your betting landscape. The craps table acts as your battlefield, featuring designated sections where you place your wagers. Each section corresponds to a specific bet type, offering unique payouts and odds. Visualize the table as a divided battlefield, with two identical hats for accommodating a larger number of players in a land-based casino. Online craps, however, typically displays a single-sided table layout. Here's a breakdown of the key sections you'll encounter. Pass line and don't pass bar. These baits are fundamental for craps beginners. The pass line wager thrives on the shooter, the player rolling the dice throwing a 7 or 11 on the initial roll, known as the come-out roll. Conversely, the don't pass bar bets against the shooter, winning if the come-out roll lands on a 2, 3, or 12. Both baits boast a low house edge of around 1 point for 1%, making them popular choices. Come and don't come baits. These baits come into play after the come-out roll establishes a point any number between 4 and 10. A come bet wins if the next roll results in a 7 or 11, while a don't come bet triumphs with a 2, 3, or 12. If the roll lands on another number, it becomes your personal point, essentially doubling your winning chances. Big 6 and Big 8. Craving a straightforward bet? Look no further than the Big 6 and Big 8 sections. Here, you wager on the shooter rolling a 6 or an 8 before a 7 appears. This bet offers a straightforward payout, even money. It comes with a steeper house edge of approximately 9.1%. Field baits. The field section resides in the center of the table. Placing a bet here means you're predicting the shooter will land a 3, 4, 9, 10, or 11 on a single roll. While it might seem enticing, remember that the odds favor the shooter rolling a 7, 5, 6, or 8. Place baits. Found near the top of the table, the place section caters to fast-paced wagers. You can place a place to win bet, cheering for the shooter to roll a 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, or 10 before a 7. Alternatively, you can bet against the shooter with a place to lose wager, hoping they roll a 7 before their designated place number. House edge for place baits varies depending on the chosen number, ranging from 1.5% to 6.67%. Proposition baits and hardways baits. These baits are best suited for seasoned players due to their higher house edge 10% to 16.7%, but potentially rewarding payouts up to 30-1. Proposition baits focus on specific dice patterns, while hardways baits require the winning number to be rolled with both dice displaying the same face value. Now that you're familiar with the betting landscape, let's delve into the gameplay itself. As a beginner, it's wise to start with the pass line or don't pass bar baits due to their favorable odds. Rolling the dice come-out roll. The shooter throws the dice, and the outcome determines the fate of your initial wager. Evaluating the come-out roll. If you placed a pass line bet and the dice land on a 7 or 11, you win. Conversely, a don't pass line bet wins with a 2, 3, or 12 on the come-out roll. Any other number establishes a point. The point and subsequent rolls. If the come-out roll doesn't result in an immediate win or loss, a point is established for 10. The shooter continues rolling the dice, aiming to roll the point again before a 7 shows up, making additional baits optional. While the point is in play, you can place additional baits based on your prediction of the next roll's outcome. The core gameplay loop in craps revolves around the point and subsequent rolls. Here's how the cycle unfolds after the point is established. The shooter throws the dice repeatedly, with the goal of achieving 2 things. Avoiding a 7. Rolling a 7 before hitting the point results in a 7-out scenario. This translates to losses for pass line baits, come baits matching the rolled point, and any additional wagers cheering for the shooter. Conversely, don't pass baits and don't come baits that match the rolled point celebrate with a win. Hitting the point. Rolling the established point number again signifies a win for all pass line baits and come baits that match that point. Winnings are typically paid according to even money odds 1-1, but some variations might offer slightly better payouts. Repeating the cycle. After a win or loss is determined, a new betting round commences. Players can choose to place the same baits again or explore different options based on the fresh start. Since the odds favor rolling a 7 compared to any specific number, The inherent challenge in craps lies in predicting when the shooter will hit the point before crapping out. Here are some strategies to consider. Sticking with pass line and don't pass baits. As a beginner, these baits offer the lowest house edge, making them a solid foundation for your gameplay. Taking advantage of the con man don't come baits. Once you're comfortable with the basic flow, consider incorporating con and don't come baits after the point is established. These baits essentially offer a second chance to win, potentially increasing your odds of profiting from a single roll. Understanding place baits. Place baits can be thrilling, especially when you correctly predict the winning number. However, keep in mind the varying house edge depending on the chosen number. Numbers closer to 7 like 6 or 8 come with a higher house edge compared to numbers further away, like 4 or 10. Cautiously exploring proposition baits. While the allure of high payouts might be tempting, proposition baits come with a significantly steeper house edge. Unless you're a seasoned player comfortable with calculated risks, it's best to approach these baits with caution. Craps beyond the basics. Lingo and etiquette. As you delve deeper into the world of craps, you'll encounter specific terminology and etiquette practices. Here's a quick primer. Dice crew. In a land-based casino, these are the casino employees who handle the dice and control their movement. Stickman. The dice crew member who calls out the outcome of each roll. Boxman. The casino employee overseeing the game's integrity and resolving any disputes. Calling a bet. Verbally announcing your desired bet amount and placement on the table. Taking odds. When you win a pass line bet, you can take odds by placing an additional wager behind your initial bet. This wager pays out at true odds, offering a more favorable payout compared to even money. Craps etiquette. Maintain basic casino etiquette like respecting other players, keeping the game moving at a reasonable pace, and treating the dice crew and dealers with courtesy. By familiarizing yourself with these terms and practices, you'll feel more at ease navigating the craps table and potentially impress your fellow players with your knowledge. Craps may appear intimidating at first, but with a bit of practice and this comprehensive guide as your roadmap, you're well on your way to enjoying the thrills of this classic casino game. Remember, start slow, understand the baits and odds, and don't be afraid to ask questions if you're unsure. Before you know it, you'll be confidently placing your baits and cheering alongside your fellow craps enthusiasts.